Hey guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between. It's definitely TMI.
Welcome to this episode, guys. Can we just start by just thanking you guys for the love on the last episode? Let's clap for them. I don't think we've ever been reposted as many times as we
have them.
Hey!
I know.
I mean,
Thank you.
our page was just full of Eli, Oscar. I was
Yeah,
like,
we were there. We were there as well, guys. You
Yeah,
saw
we
us
were-
on the.
you saw us,
saw.
right?
We were
and we're also talking.
but no one. They were
It's
here.
fine. It's okay. But anyway, it was a fantastic episode, and thank you so much, guys. And we've taken all your recommendations for collaborations you guys want us to do in the future.
Yes.
And yeah, maybe we might do it. But now we want you guys to focus on us.
Yeah.
Sometimes us,
Not
all the
always.
time. Other men. Sometimes just us, guys. Anyway, welcome to this episode. It's episode 15, I
Episode
believe.
15.
It
Yes,
is
it is.
15. Welcome, guys. We are teenagers. We are actually fully grown
We are,
teenagers.
definitely.
Which is amazing. Remember that number 15 because it'll be relevant later when I'm speaking about my sexual journey.
Ooh.
Yep, that number's gonna be relevant.
I remember.
Exactly. Guys, this episode is done in collaboration with Form Nigani, who, if you live in Nairobi or in Kenya or you're on social media or you drive on highways, you've probably seen their communication. It is basically a platform that advocates for conversations around contraception, around positive family planning. It's by like creatives and opinion shapers. And it's just a really cool space where people are able to like voice their concerns, opinions, fears, just their views basically on contraception.
Yeah.
And obviously, when they came to us, we were like, this is perfect for us because if there's one thing TMI is always shouting here, besides sex, besides sexual liberation and confidence, it's contraception. It's contraception. And before you go any further in this video, guys, please make sure you're following us on our pages.
Thank
Murugi
you.
Munyi, Lydia KM, and TMI
TMI
Podcast
Podcast
KE.
KE.
You'll find we are always talking about contraception because it's something we really genuinely believe in.
Yeah.
It's a key part of sexual confidence for us to be able to be on contraceptive, to be able to determine the outcome of our sexual experiences as much as we
100%.
possibly can.
Yeah, we had this conversation on our Instagram page. As she said, please do follow us on TMI Podcast KE. And it was around sexual confidence. And there's very little confidence because without having contraception, without having the right reproductive health information, because it's all fun and games until it's not.
Yeah,
Until
you're up in the
it's-
middle of the night with your crying triplets.
Oh
because
my
when you are
God,
having the
not
sex you're not
triplets.
supposed to be having, it will be triplets. Okay,
Yeah.
it will be triplets.
For
Yeah.
sure. So that's a huge part of empowering yourself. And so we wanted to take that conversation from Instagram and bring it here to TMI Podcast. And we want to talk about how to get sexual confidence or how to build your sexual confidence.
Yeah.
Because as a woman, you can be confident in your body and your skin and your beauty and your brains. But the sexual part of you is one thing which people don't talk enough about women being liberated sexually. So we wanted to have that conversation, guys, and we hope that you're going to learn something, and you can tell us some of the things which you struggled with as far as your self-confidence, as far as maybe even reproductive self-care. Please let us know what you've struggled with, and hopefully this will be something which we can all learn from.
I feel like I have a wealth of information in this field, but every time we have a conversation about it, I learn something new.
Always.
I always
It's
learn
always
something new. So thank you so much to Form Nigani and the Reproductive Health Network of Kenya for enabling us to have this conversation. Let's get into it.
100%. Yeah. So we wanted to start with, before we were here, we were in the ghetto.
No, yeah.
Say the truth.
No,
Say the truth.
Ghetto hood.
Right.
Ghetto
So we
hood.
wanted to start with what were your sexual views, like as far as you can remember. What did you know about sex, or what did you think about sex?
Sex. Okay, so for me, let me my background. My mother is a reverend.
Oh.
I've mentioned this before. And if there's one thing that a reverend will never do, or a pastor will never do, is talk to you about sex. All right. So for me, all I remember when growing up is just my mom talking about how this is something that should be enjoyed in marriage. So it was never an option. It was never a thing of like get on contraception or go do this, or when you find someone you love and you feel it was just like do not do it.
Ever.
Do not ever do it. So for me,
what did Murugi do?
What did Murugi do? At the ripe age of 15. At the ripe age of 15, Murugi explored. outside of a club next to a car. But you know what? That's a story for another day. I
Mm.
was definitely not exercising good reproductive choices at that time.
It's
Definitely
okay.
not.
You
Yeah.
were also in
But
the
since
ghetto.
then, so obviously, as I grew up, I think by the age of about 12, 13, I really started to feel like, okay, I feel like different. You know, you start feeling having urges, your boobs are growing, you have your period, and you start feeling like, okay, I mean, I feel like a woman, I feel womanly. But I think it's only until the age of like about 18, maybe 19, that I felt like I am a sexual being, you know, not just like I'm a person who, like, yeah, when I have sex, it feels nice, but I am a sexual being who is in charge of my body, who likes things and doesn't like other things, who has control, who has power, you know, who can control their emotions. That's the age. I think 18, 19 is when I started feeling like a sexual being, so to speak.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Our stories are completely different.
Yeah.
So my mom's not a reverend, but she's also not, you know, taking me down the road to show me how it goes, you know, but she's somewhere in between, which
Yeah.
is like there was conversations around, but maybe not directly.
Yeah.
But I knew that sex was not just for marriage. I knew that was a big difference because first
Okay.
of all, my mom was pregnant on her wedding day. So I
Ah,
mean, 1 + 1
see.
is 67.
My mom was also pregnant on her wedding day. So don't even, yeah. I mean,
Come on, mom.
Mom, I mean, even
mom,
you.
Even you. So I knew my mom never forced the it's just for marriage.
Yeah.
But I also knew it wasn't something light. So at me it was at the ripe age of 16, not too far down the road
wow,
for Morugi.
wow.
Not too far down the road. And I felt like I only felt that I was having sex from that point. I just felt there was sex and you have sex.
Yeah.
But as far as feeling like I'm a sexual being,
Yeah.
I think that came maybe around maybe 22, 23, when I was definitely having a situationship with somebody who I shouldn't have been, but he awoke. Even the way he saw me as a sexual partner, it felt really equal. You know, a lot of situations, it's like the man,
power
you,
and
you're
you,
there.
yeah,
Whereas
subdued, yeah.
I really felt in control and
yeah.
very much of a sexual being around 22, 23. And once that door opened, it's never been shut, honey.
It's
never been shut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
So,
nice. And
yeah.
the guys, for context, she grew up in the UK. In
Yeah.
case this is your first episode that you're watching, if it is, please subscribe and ring the bell so that
Thank
you don't
you.
miss a future episode.
Thank you.
She grew up in the UK, which obviously has very different conversations, especially
profoundly
around
different.
sex, around sex education, around
Yeah.
contraception. In Kenya, it's like, I mean, now I guess it's getting more and more with like, you know, advocacy, like with Form Nigani and the Reproductive Health Network. But still, I feel like there's a long way to go. It's like for you to get that information, you literally have to go looking for it. It will just find you in your house sometimes.
Yeah. So one of the things that's the major difference, we said having conversations in school when we were around like 13, 14 about sex.
13, 14?
Condoms were being given out by the time we were like 15, 16.
Oh,
Now
God.
that's the end of high school. And then in England, when you're under 25, it's free. For your pill, for your contraceptive, everything
wow.
is free. For all
Yeah.
your checkups, everything.
Yeah.
So going to the gyna for me was equivalent to going for a homa. It was just as easy,
You just
know?
go, yeah.
So that information was really easily acceptable. But that and sexual confidence aren't always the same thing.
You're right.
They're part. They're part. Because
Yeah.
even
Yeah, you're
even though
right.
you didn't have that information, you felt sexual confidence
Yeah.
way earlier than I did.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I
Also,
wonder
you
why.
felt like you said you were feeling urges at 12.
Yeah.
No, I think you even physically matured earlier than me.
You think so?
Yeah, I think my
Maybe.
period was 13, and
But-
I think I realized I had boobs at 16.
Oh, my period was at 12. You realized you had boobs. Okay.
Oh,
And I bet they were still this size.
most likely, yeah. Yeah.
But you know, that's why I feel like conversations around contraception and like self-care and like, you know, taking care of your self sexually is so much more important, because I want my kids to grow up in a world where they have the access to the information and the tools they need to make the right decisions when it comes to sex.
Yeah, it starts with one. It starts with Form Nigani, then now it's in collaboration with TMI, and then somebody else, and then now
We
it
all
becomes
have the
a
information.
conversation.
Absolutely.
Right. So the next question is, you tell me. Sorry.
It's okay, baby girl.
You love it?
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So what is one thing that made you feel like you are a sexual being? What's one determining factor that made you feel like you're more? Oh no, sorry. What's a determining factor of your sexual confidence?
Ooh.
Because I mean, 18.
Yeah.
What did you know? But you
I-
knew.
Can I start by saying I don't think I think there. I think there are like two distinct groups of people. There are people who have yet to discover their sexual confidence, and then there are people who feel actual sexual, like you're being put down, like you don't feel like you have the right, you don't feel like you can actually speak about your sexuality. So for example, somebody who, even if any part of your body is showing, you start feeling like, oh my God, I'm not, like kind of thing. That sort of like, you're almost ashamed of the fact that you're a woman who has needs, you're a woman who has sex, that you're somebody who even people find attractive, or that you're attracted to other people. I don't think I ever was that person. I feel like I've always felt like comfortable in my body, comfortable with my urges, so to speak, even with my different phases with various groups in society, or the different ones. You get me?
The different ones.
If you don't get it, forget about it. You know that TikTok? You don't know that TikTok.
I don't.
Anyway, yeah. So I don't feel like I was ever that, but I think as time has gone by, like probably in my 20s, definitely after I gave birth, I felt a shift in terms of like how I experienced my body as a sexual being. Because after that, I just felt more free. I felt more confident, more empowered, because I was like, wow, my body has done this amazing thing. And like I would look at myself with a different kind of like wonder and like acceptance kind of thing. But I think it's only maybe towards the end of my 20s that I really felt like I came into my sexual confidence, because I think, I don't know, maybe it's the advent of social media or something, and seeing a lot more plus size women, because that's like a whole other.
Oh God, yeah. Why is your phone? Why is your phone? Nelly.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that the added of like seeing people like Lizzo and like seeing like plus size women who are just like accepting themselves and like posting pictures in like she's in a bikini and she has cellulite like me, and she has stretch marks. And I think at some point I was just like, wow, I really love the way my body is. And the more that time went by, the more I've come to accept it. And now I be posting my ass 24/7.
Really, 24/7. If you're not following her, you're
missing out.
You're missing things.
Yeah. What about for you?
For me, I feel like I definitely had a journey on feeling sexually confident, right? Number one, I personally feel like this is a factor. Maybe it isn't for everyone. But when you grow up where the standard of beauty is nothing like you, you definitely struggle navigating yourself around what feels beautiful. And without feeling beautiful, it's hard to feel confident. Without feeling confident, it's hard to have sexual confidence. So I could definitely tell that there was a journey of like feeling uncomfortable, like I wasn't sitting upright in myself, in my body, whatever. Especially because for me, my sexual confidence has so much to do with my emotions, and when
Pisces.
yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
So when you're going up and down with those emotions of not understanding yourself, not knowing who you are, your sexual confidence kind of goes up and down with that. You know what I mean? But I feel like when I turned, maybe as I'm saying 23, 24, and funny enough, when I came to Kenya, I saw a profound difference in the way I felt about myself.
And how other people viewed you as well.
Yeah, maybe as the way other people viewed me as well. First of all, I felt like it wasn't a competition. I wasn't fighting a status quo to be beautiful. It's like someone will find you beautiful because you're beautiful. Also, the feeling of you're just a black person.
Just another black person.
You are just that felt really freeing. And I found that I became way more even into what I'm watching for excitement, if you know what I mean. I became a bit more.
I don't know what you mean.
Shut up.
Okay, continue.
I became a bit more broader with that. Like, let me see you, let me explore. All that. And then the last 3 years
and I thank God, because I've only met Lydia in the last 3 years. Some may don't know that previous Lydia.
You found me at the end of the ghetto.
Yeah, I found her when she was beginning her journey of sexual liberation.
100%.
Yeah.
And who else to hold my hand
than me?
Than you.
Welcome, darling.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. You were the best person, because it wasn't, you weren't advocating for anything, but just the way you were about it was such an easy pull. I was ready. I was ready. And boy,
and we are really in the, like, when you guys watch and you see these conversations we have about sex so freely, it's because we, by the way, just in our normal conversations, we are always having those conversations.
Always.
Yeah. Because I just feel like sex is not something you should be ashamed about.
No.
It's not even sex, your sexuality, because there's a difference between sex and your sexuality. Your sexuality is who you are as a person, as a woman. It's like everything that makes you you, and how you express yourself now in eventually in sex, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And when I met you, all I found out was that there were all of these things that I always wanted to do and I wanted to explore. I'm an explorer. We have the same energy.
Yeah.
I just didn't give myself permission, or I didn't have the right environment to allow that to prosper.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So then as soon as I felt free, I prospered.
You
and
prospered.
as that happened, you meet the guy who makes sense with it.
Love it.
Heaven.
Love it. Can we talk about how there's such a double standard when it comes to
Good
sexual confidence, sexual confidence and liberation as a woman versus as a man?
Yep.
Even in terms of like, you know, taking care of yourself, self-care, yani kujijali,
Yep.
you know, things in terms of contraception. Because I feel like for men, they grow up knowing that your sexual urges are just part of you. It's just like
Perfect.
and it's expected.
Just
in
right,
fact, it
normal.
makes you a man.
Yep.
But you as a woman expressing that you have sexual needs,
oh goodness,
expressing
out.
that you actually want to have an orgasm when you're having sex.
Imagine.
How dare you?
You being
And
an equal part to a sexual
you know,
experience.
how
Get out.
how get out.
Get out. Arrest
Good
her.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I love, again, the work that Fom Nigani is doing, because it's like part of bringing men into that whole conversation about contraception.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had actually asked our audience on Instagram about this, and we'll share that a little bit
Yeah,
later.
we
It was
will.
really interesting asking them what their men feel about them being
Yeah.
on contraception and how their men, you know, take part in that whole process. And stick around for that. Stick around for that.
What obviously I assume your man is what is down for it.
Yeah, for contraception.
Yeah, unless he wants
is,
a
but you
fourth.
see, there's a difference between like him just knowing that I have taken care of it versus it's not like he's like checking at how is your coil, or like, oh, let me take you to whatever the coil. It's like, I feel like they are allowed a very comfortable distance from contraception when they are with women like us, because they know we are taking care of it.
They know
They
we are
know
sorted.
we're not messing with that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they do.
But others don't. I mean, you know, and like I've had the conversation with my husband many times. Like, we're done having kids. You have a vasectomy. He's like, no, me, I don't believe in permanent forms of you know,
even though you
procedures,
permanently
whatever.
don't want children.
So I'm
Also,
like, yeah,
vasectomy
why?
is reversible. It's reversible.
It is, yeah. But you know, all these
It's
things they say
invasive,
it's
but
reversible, but like, yeah, you can't really tell.
Yeah. So I went, actually, funny enough, on Saturday to my gyna, and Mans came with me, but he went to park and do his things and be on the phone. And Mokami entered because the situation is on my own. However, when there's a pregnancy scare, we are together.
We're together.
Oh, wow. Wow, what a surprise.
And it's so funny. Sometimes he's like, when I'm telling him, oh, babes, you come with me into the doctor. He's like, no, you know, that's private. It's private. I want you to have your space. I'm like, yeah,
whatever.
But
you don't
last night when I was on my fours, you were in my space.
Twins.
You were in my space.
Pamoja. Together. Good night. Yeah, I feel like they do. I feel like because I'm so empowered with it. I feel like whatever.
Yeah.
But it would be great. It would be great for someone to come there and see what's happening.
I think so. So can we talk about like what does so we feel, obviously from you guys seeing us, you can see that we are sexually confident. Yeah. Can we talk about what sexual confidence means to us? Like what does being sexually confident mean to you?
I feel the top of the list for me is not being ashamed of my desires.
Oh yeah,
that was
that's
the
on
thing.
my list too.
Oh yeah, that was the thing which I was led under the entire time. And when I stopped being ashamed of my desires, it's a desire. It's like it comes to me. I don't go and search a desire. It's in me. It's in my energy. So being able to be like, babe, I want to try this, or I want to try that, or whatever porn I'm going to watch. Huh?
Give us some examples. Just give us. This is TMI.
Good night.
This is TMI.
Okay.
Let me give an example. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So one of the things which I used to feel like a bit awkward about was about being attracted to girls, right? And not necessarily like being
like I want to be in a relationship, with her,
but acknowledging that when I see a girl, I'm just like, whoa, what is that I'm feeling?
Damn,
what's popping? What's happening?
Don't mind me, just watch
it. Exactly. That was one of the things which I used to contain so much. Whereas it's like, actually, a desire grows when you don't
try to suppress
when you try to suppress it. Once it's out, it's just like, oh, okay. Oh, all right, that's
Agreed.
it. Yeah. So that's one of the things. Being open and free to enjoy my desires. Really, that's what.
To enjoy and to express in a space where you feel like you won't be
comfortable,
judged.
not judged, and it's a place where I can genuinely enjoy myself.
Exactly. I love that one. For me, it's like the love of pain. I'm a lover of pain.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I have so many tattoos, so many piercings. I like pain. I
Oh,
like pain.
God.
Yeah. So in all scenarios, sexual and otherwise, I
Really?
like pain. Yeah. I
Really?
like that pushing the boundaries of like, oh my God, this is so painful, but like it feels good, but don't stop, but stop, but don't stop. You know.
Yeah, but I feel like me, my threshold is a little less.
Yo,
Yes, I
I
know
feel like
that
yours is a
feeling.
lot less.
I know that feeling. I know that. I know that feeling, but
Seem to.
I know that feeling, but I feel like I don't
Yeah.
enjoy it as much
Yeah.
as you do
Oh
it.
yeah, I enjoy it so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Another thing which I think as far as sexual confidence
Mm.
is owning my half of my sexual experiences, right?
Mm.
Before it used to be like either like, oh, let him just like, hurry up and finish or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it's just like if I want to try something, I'm not really saying it.
Yeah.
All of that. But in a sexual experience, now I feel like I take up space.
Yeah.
This is what I want. If I'm not finished, I'm not finished. This is how I like it. That I don't like. That doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
That's making me uncomfortable. In every beat of my sexual experiences,
yeah.
I'm there on beat owning
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
because we talked about in that episode about sex, is that you're in charge of your own pleasure.
You
Like
are.
you're there to please your partner. Obviously, that's why you're having sex with them. But you're in charge of ensuring that you get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I
Yeah.
completely agree with that. Another thing that I would say in terms of my sexual confidence is being comfortable in my body.
Okay.
Because growing up, I think in my 20s or like, when you're younger and you feel like, how you're saying when you were there, you didn't feel like you fit the standard of beauty. I also for a long time didn't feel like I fit the standard of beauty because it's like, okay, African men like curvy women, but a certain kind of curvy women.
No
It's not,
stomach,
no
big
stomach,
booty,
you
big hips,
big thighs, but your arms should be flat, not these kitoweo arms of mine, yeah, not kitoweo
Nothing.
arms, like thin arms, thin waist, and then and I didn't feel like I fit that, But as I grew and like as I started loving myself, I realized in bed especially, and even like out in the world, I am sexy because I am confident. I'm not confident because I am sexy.
100%.
I am sexy because I am confident. And my man has told me this so many times. He's like, your confidence is one of the sexiest things about you. Because you as a woman, you'll go to bed with that man and you'll be thinking, oh, my stretch marks. That man has never even seen, he didn't even care, can't even tell you where on your body are those stretch marks.
Yeah.
The things you're most concerned about, he don't even care.
Yeah.
He's just there because he likes you just the way that you are,
It's
and
true.
so that being able to own my body and also doing things that make my body feel good, eating good food, working out, drinking
Yeah.
water, and I mean, just like building my stamina so that when I'm on top, I can go for long. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, those kinds of things.
100%.
Yeah, that has helped me.
Body confidence, I feel like it has to come in
It
with
has
sex.
to.
It has to.
Yeah.
Because once you're naked, you're stripped naked.
Yep.
And your movement and your energy, even energy.
Yeah.
Because when you're insecure in your body, everyone can feel it, especially the people who
Absolutely.
you're having sex with. And that definitely interferes.
Yeah.
Because some positions which would be great and will help the sexual experience be amazing, you are conscious about maybe how does this look?
Yeah.
What's jiggling? But when you're present and you're like, this is how my body is, let's do this.
Yeah.
Sexual confidence is next door. If you get there,
you've
that is
already,
next
you just knock and you've entered.
You've entered.
Are you a have sex with the lights on or lights off kind of person?
Whatever is going down,
Whatever
but
is going
majority of the
down, yeah.
time, it's always on.
Yeah,
I want to see the face.
Yeah.
I want to see everything.
Me, it's not like I don't want this. I don't want a Hollywood stage.
Yeah.
But I don't want it dark. I want it. I want it a comfortable in between where we can see each other. We can look in each other's eyes and we can like see
like
each other.
dimmed.
Like dim, kind of like, but not
Really?
like super bright and not like super dull. But of course, if it's in the middle of the afternoon, what are we going to do? The sun is out.
The afternoon is
Let's do- yeah.
or the light being on. I've
Yeah.
never
Never
turned
thought.
down
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah.
Wherever we are, here
Whatever
we
we
are.
just be doing.
This is
We
what's
love it.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another factor for me, and I think this is like one of the main factors that came into play maybe after I was like 25, 26, is being able to control my sexual outcomes in terms of I don't want to get pregnant after this.
Yeah.
I do not want to get HIV. I do not want to get an STD. I
Yeah.
want to have sex, but like sex that afterwards I'm not thinking, hey, oh God, no, I need to rush to I need to get P2.
Good
Oh
night.
God, who is the nearest? No, that whole the early 20s and like late teens is such a ghetto time because like
Hood.
the sex happens upon you. It's like
Yeah.
almost like you didn't know it was going to happen, but you knew, but it's like you didn't know
Yeah.
kind of thing. And for me, that being able to like positively think about my sexual experience without it being like, oh, there's an oops is what makes me so
Definitely freeing.
what makes me feel like contraception for anyone having sex, you need
Period.
you need to be on contraception. From Nigani actually shared with us a statistic. They said only about 26% 8% of women
And I
are on contraception.
and I said good night.
You said good night.
I said
And
good night.
ironically,
I see it.
and
I can
ironically,
see.
that number has gone down from like 40 something
Mm.
before COVID started.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It does.
which it makes sense, but also a lot more people are at home, a lot more people are having sex. I feel like a lot more people should be on contraception.
But I
don't you
feel like
think?
what has happened is that there's a different concern.
Yeah.
You know, just
Oh,
like if
yes,
there's a
yes, yes.
flu,
Mm.
my biggest concern is
The flu,
the
yeah.
flu protecting this, and then
Mm.
everything else kind of takes a back burner. People are not working as much. Like the shift of your world is going to shift the things which you don't feel are mandatory.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for whatever reason, reproductive health for some reason kind of takes the afterthoughts
Yeah,
kind of idea.
exactly, yeah.
For me, unfortunately, well, fortunately, actually, my sexual confidence did not really have anything to do with contraception
it was not
because
even part of the- yeah.
I've always had it. But what I wasn't is I feel like I had the information, but I wasn't taking it as seriously. You know, I wasn't carrying it as this is really important to my health. This is just
Yeah.
as important
future
to my
even.
future.
Yeah.
You know, and having that control of my life over that. I've got the IUD for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's it.
Me
As
too.
long as I get my checks when I do, which I always do, I'm good. That alone, even when I'm, you know, backing it up, I'm not thinking.
You're not thinking about
I am
that.
fully
Exactly.
present,
Exactly.
getting it down.
Yeah.
So the sense of control that this one thing is not going to lead to a disastrous amount of consequences definitely allows me to even
Absolutely.
enjoy my sexuality a lot
Exactly.
more.
And I feel like if you are watching this episode,
Mhm.
if you are watching this episode and you know you're not on contraception, we really, really urge you to get information out there. If you want someone to talk to, a free number that you can call, a number you can WhatsApp, please get in touch with Nigani. The contacts are right
Down
here, down
below.
here. So
Yeah.
please get in touch with them. There are so many different kinds these days, and I feel like the information is everywhere, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. Because I guess maybe sometimes you go online and you get like overwhelmed, and you're just like, oh my god, this one is saying IUDs are bad. Misconceptions. This one
Exactly.
is saying I'll get an STI. This one is saying what? Just get in touch with Nigani. They'll be able to give you all the information that you need to make the best decision for you. I also love that they give options in terms of like, if you are comfortable going to a healthkare professional, these are the options. There's those. Then there are also the self-care options, which you can do from your house. The condoms, if there's self-injectables, which
we both were like,
we're already shuddering, but those are there. There's like,
Yeah.
period tracking apps. There's things like the pill, so many different options if you want to do it yourself, kujijali, or if you want to also see a healthcare professional. So please do get in touch with them if you want more information on that.
My hashtag when it comes to reproductive self-care is that I do what I can. I do what I can. Everything else, there's nothing I can
You
do.
leave to God.
Some people say that, people get pregnant on IUD. There's nothing I can do about that. Whatever situation you're in, if it's you have a bit of money for condoms, get condoms.
Yeah.
If you have a bit of money or some time to call and ask some information about which contraceptive works for you, whatever is in your power, generally in your power, do that. Whatever happens after, there's nothing you can do. And I feel like there is this idea like, oh, there's no point. Like, so even
we're still going to
99% chance. No. Do what you can control
what you can.
and leave the rest to God.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's up to you. Whoever is watching this, not your boyfriend, is not your girlfriend, is you. It's you, baby girl.
Yeah.
I also feel like sexual confidence to me is very varied in terms of how it plays out in people's lives. So for example, me and you, we are very open. We are talkers. We talk a lot. So we can come on here and just talk about sex, my man, this, my man, whatever. And maybe you're not comfortable doing that. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're sexually repressed. It doesn't mean that. Because for me, maybe that it means wearing a bikini and taking pictures in that and posting those. Maybe for you, it means covering up so that only the people who are closest to you get to see your body. That's fine. I feel like sexual confidence should not be made to seem like it's immorality, because it's not immorality.
It's not.
It is
It's
just
not.
expressing yourself how you feel comfortable expressing your sexuality.
Yes. And we understand where that immorality came from, because a lot of the things, especially stemming from religion, is that women who were out here expressing themselves being promiscuous are bad, they're whores, they're all of these things. So if you take those lessons and you bring them to real life, that translates. That's why you see women being demonized and being slut-shamed all the time. It's somehow translated into the world that we live in. But actually, especially with something that's not harming anybody else. Me expressing myself fully as a sexual being does nothing except for liberate me, you know? And as Joe said, it looks different to everyone. Maybe Lizzo wants to be butt naked and showing her curves.
Literally
That's
butt
her.
naked,
But then there's somebody who wants to be covered from head to toe, and then when they go home and they do whatever, or even when they're just covered up, they feel so liberated. You know? And feminism is all about allowing women to have whatever makes them feel like the most amazing women they can be. So we are just sharing ours,
but
not
it can
at
mean
all. It
whatever
doesn't need to
it
be
means
anybody
to you.
else's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I'm tired of? Can I
What?
tell you what I'm tired of? Every
What?
time I post a picture in a bikini, message, how does your husband feel about this picture? How does your husband feel about you posting things like this? I find it so
How does your
intriguing.
husband feel actually?
He
Just
doesn't ever
what we
say
know.
anything. He doesn't. He's
Yeah.
just like, yeah. He only says something when like his family, let's say his nieces or nephews or whatever, send the picture to him and like, whoa, oh my gosh. And may just tell them this is how I am and this is how you found me when we met. This is how you found me. But every time the fact that when someone sees a picture, the first thing they think of is my husband. I just feel like it just emphasizes that double standard of women. You'll see that same person will see my man in a club fingering somebody, and they will like, it's
there you
men.
go. It's a
Men will be
Friday.
men.
It's a
Exactly.
Friday.
That's it. But me, post a picture by myself, and
End
it's an
of.
issue. Exactly.
Because our sexuality is so much connected to men.
Exactly.
There is no, what do you mean you on your own being a sexual being? Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
You are the thing that your husband expresses his sexuality
through. Oh my God,
Good night.
that's so
Yeah,
true.
that's why they see it that way.
Sexual like shaming and repression of women is meant to belittle them and to control them. For me to have to only express myself the way my husband feels is comfortable, that's repression for me, and that's not something that I ascribe to.
Another thing I feel like maybe we should touch on your end is one of the biggest things is that nobody will ask me how does my boyfriend feel, right? But the second you get married, you are now that. You need to be covered from head to toe. You are a mother. You are the sanctity of hope, joy, and purity to everyone's eyes.
Yeah.
So then you even having sexuality is like out.
It's crazy. And the funny thing is that so people know married people having sex, but they don't want any outward expression of that besides children.
That's it.
Besides just the children who have come out.
You have had sex 3 times.
Exactly. I've only thrice. And they were all, very positive experiences. I have the children to prove it.
Done.
Yeah, I know. But I honestly feel like people need to let women express themselves how they want to express themselves.
Yeah.
Because it all ties back to that whole thing of like, when you get married, do you lose yourself as a person? It's like, okay, who Joanne used to be is gone now. Now she's Joanne Wazak or Joanne Wa Ethan or Wa Mukeni Wa Mutana.
You're
But
right.
I
You're
am
not
just
individual.
me, just myself. So when someone says, how will you feel when your child sees this picture and they grow up? And I'm like, oh my God, they might discover I have an ass. They might discover
you have a naked body.
A body.
Get out.
They might discover. I'm like, guys,
Good
calm
night.
down. Exactly. And that's the kind of future I want to build for my daughters is one where they're able to express themselves fully without fear of judgment or being labeled a hoe or being labeled this, because they alone know how they're expressing themselves. And that's okay. Whatever that is, it's okay to me.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things for me that makes me feel sexually confident is being able to see how me talking about it does something positive to other women.
Oh, yes, yes.
Honestly, I of course I would talk about it anyway, but anytime someone messages me, just like, okay, hey, you've been talking about this IUD, me, I'll go, tell me some more information about it. Where can I go get it? What can I do? Because I don't want kids anytime soon. And hey, I'm out here having fun. Let me go get it. That one person, even if it's one a week or once, twice a week, I'm just like, that makes me feel like this must be something good. Because if I was not as open and sexually confident, I wouldn't have the confidence to talk about that, and that person would not have felt like that's helpful, and maybe they've changed their destiny. Maybe this is not gonna be the same old story at TMI talk.
Yeah, exactly. And we get so many DMs like that. Like, how do you feel confident to just talk about sex openly like that? And it's like, for me, the fact that there's so many women who want that to be their destiny, who want that to be their future. The fact that it means we are doing something useful.
It's true.
It means that we're doing something useful. So before we finish, can we tell people who, for example, they're the ones who are DMing us, maybe they're living in sexual repression or oppression, and they want tips on how to overcome that and to live in sexual confidence? What can we tell them?
This is something which I had found ages ago, but then I saw it on Too Hot to Handle. And the way the woman explained it really got me understanding why it's important. And that is looking at your vagina. Looking.
Or your
Sit
penis.
down. Or your penis. That's true. That's so true. Forgive me. The thing is, your penis doesn't need to be given confidence. It's everywhere. People people think that the penis is the greatest things, whereas vaginas are dark and ugly, and they need to be in between. Whatever you hear, how people always shame you about opening your legs. Wait, what's
the problem?
The vagina needs to be covered up and there in the dark. So when you sit and you look at your vagina, number one, you start to like what you're seeing. It's that narrative that it's ugly and it's nasty, it's no good, completely goes away, because you're like, wait, how is this? This is the same as my leg, as my boob, as my elbow. Why am I being taught to not like this thing? And so the more, whatever you bring to light, you free. So bring your vagina to light. If it's you're let down, take a mirror, look at it. If you're standing, however you're going to do it, but learn to be open about looking at your vagina, because when you feel shame about your vagina, there's no way you're not taking that shame somewhere else.
Yeah, and just to even extrapolate that further, even beyond your vagina, just your whole body.
Yeah.
Like, take time to just stand in a mirror and just look at yourself and appreciate yourself. Not every time, it's like every time you're looking at yourself, just like, ah, my God, I need to lose weight, I need to do this. Just look at yourself and appreciate. Just be like, oh, I'm cute, by the way. Look at this cute little dimple here. Look, my arms. Wow, my nipples are really nice. Like, just look at yourself, appreciate yourself, and start to like don't idolize other people's bodies, and then you come to yours like, ah, but mine, even just know that you yourself, you are the queen.
You're first.
You yourself, you are the queen. Exactly. Another thing I would say in terms of like sexuality and sex is knowing what you don't want is half the journey to knowing what you want and what you like, especially when you're in bed. I feel like sometimes people are like, how do I know what I like? Especially if like maybe you're early on in your sexual journey, is when anything happens, you'll make a mental note of like, when he did that, it didn't feel good. But sometimes, as women, we are taught to like, just if he looks like he's enjoying himself, you'll just nyamaza even if you're not enjoying it, because he's doing it and for him he's having fun. Get in the habit of just being like, no, that one I don't like. That makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. As you said, that helped you in your sexual journey, right? And just get into the habit of like voicing what you like, what you don't like, so that it can be like that experience is as much for you as it is for him.
Another thing which I think helped me, and I guess, yes, we're not trying out sexuality to men, but having a partner who you're enjoying and you feel free with 100% is going to change the narrative. So even if you're not in it now, you can be more, you can question more if you want to be sexually active with that person. The more you are like, okay, so yesterday he was being really mean to me. So 90% of the time, maybe you're having sex because that's the time when he's nicest to you. When you start, it's true. A lot of sex is happening because that's the one time you get intimacy from this person who doesn't text you, who doesn't call you, who doesn't take you out, who isn't treating you the way you want. But in that, however many minutes,
like you're the only one in the world.
You are the only one in the world. So when you're a bit more selective on, why am I having sex with this person? Is this person who I want? Do I even like this person? And then having more healthier, happier sexual experiences, for sure you're going to grow like tenfold.
Yeah, exactly. My last tip would be see a professional. And by a professional, I mean could be a gynecologist. If you want information on contraception, you can get in touch with Fom Nigani on their WhatsApp number or the toll-free line here below, or sexual therapy. Sex therapy is, I have had sex therapy. My husband and I have had sex therapy together in our marriage. It's been fantastic. It's like, it's not something we do often, but like once in a while when we just want to get to a better place, we'll do sex therapy. And I would highly recommend it, because sometimes where you are in your sexuality and your sexual confidence is 100% not even based on how you feel about yourself. It's just trauma from the past that you have not been able to go back and be like, actually, I remember I had blocked out the fact that when I was young, my dad said this about me, or my mom said this, or I saw this in church and whatever. And being able to talk about those things really helps you be able to like see, okay, actually those are lies I have told myself, and this is the truth, and then this is where I want to be. And you can be able to determine now your sexual future, your sexual confidence for yourself now, and in perpetuity.
Oh my God, maybe one day I'll go to sex therapy as well. You've made it sound so
good.
Would
highly recommend. And in fact, even if your sex life is good now, like once you go, it'll like can become phenomenally better.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, yes.
This
All
that's
right.
exactly what we're doing.
So yeah, seek
Mhm.
professional help. And there's no like shame in seeking professional help, by the way, because many people, especially in Africa, I feel like there's a lot of like, oh my god, you went to see a doctor about sex. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you went to see a doctor about your vagina or whatever. There's no shame in it, guys. Get the help that you need to live the life that you want.
And guess what? You don't know for one day, and then you know, and then that's it.
Exactly, and
now
that's
you
it.
know.
Now you
So even if
know.
it's the scariest, weirdest, hardest thing to do, you go there and you know once. You get to
Exactly.
know what's good for your body, what's the best reproductive method for you. Contraceptive for you, and then now you know,
And now
you
you
can
know, and you can
free
make
yourself.
the best. Yeah.
Yeah. We really love this conversation
Yeah.
because it's good to share some of the ways how we got to where we are, because I don't think anyone just came in this. We had the same thing which were against us. The women should be like this, women should be like that. But we've somehow found a way to be a bit more liberated, and
Yeah.
we encourage you to explore exactly what that means for you. And thank you so much for Mnigani once again for collaborating with us
On this conversation.
You are doing
the
you are
Lord's
helping us
work. You are doing the
you are
Lord's
helping
work.
us
Yes.
do like something fantastic.
Yep,
And if this generation has this much support, the next one is going to be one
is bound to be fantastic.
For
Let us
sure.
know in the comments below, guys, or on our Instagram or whatever, if you want to DM us. Personally, TMI Podcast KE, we want to know where you guys are in your sexual liberation, sexual confidence journey.
Yeah.
Is there any support that we can offer you? If there is, please let us know. But get in touch.
As we said, guys, thank you so much for the love on the previous episode. Let's be honest, that's been the most love we've received. And you know, that's
guys.
exactly what collabos are for. We want you guys to get a different perspective, to hear what's out there, to collaborate with other creators. And we really enjoyed it.
It was so much
we
fun.
just are so glad that you enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
On this segment, we do fan shout out, and we just want to read some of your comments. And that's why we encourage you. If you're there on YouTube, please tell us what you think. Whatever it is you're thinking about as you're watching, tell us so that we can also hear your point of view. We're always talking, guys.
We're always
so we
talking.
Also like
even if the comment is about our edges or about our eyebrows.
And
anything.
I saw you episode 13. It wasn't my eyebrow. Dan, can you come here and explain yourself? The lighting was shaving my eyebrow.
Yeah. Lydia's brows were perfect, and they are perfect now. I've never seen better brows in my life. Okay, never seen better brows in my life. Okay, can we read some fans now? Okay, the first one I want to read is the one written by Man Talk.
Yeah.
They commented and said, "We had the most incredible time. Thank you for inviting us and being incredible hosts. You have created an amazing space and community. Please never stop giving us content. Everyone showing love in the comments. We see you. We love you. Thanks, guys. Mmekaribisha wageni vizuri.
For real.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
And I love working with collaborators who are also just as in with
exactly.
what we just created.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. This is Wakini Annette. You are saying, why is TMI Talk shouting at me? Y'all put a pin on my situation and hammered it home. We tried to not hammer. We tried to gently take it home. But we're sorry you felt hammered.
We're so sorry. Susan, you said, when Eli said, I have to disagree with any explanation for infidelity, then she's like 100.
Period.
That one, I feel like we were split on that one.
Yeah.
We were split on that one.
Here's the thing, I feel like an explanation and excuse are two different things.
Oh, yeah.
For example, my explanation for maybe going on a rampage of sex might be my daddy issues. That's the explanation.
Yeah.
It's not the excuse, but it's the explanation.
Perfect.
Right. We have just Lena, you are saying hands down the best collabo ever. Can we talk about how collected these men are? No? Okay. Yeah, they're very collected.
They
and
are so
next
collected.
to us, who are like, yeah, wow.
Did you guys see the game? Our hands were down. Our hands were like this. Them, they're just like, nope, never had a one-night stand. Never had a...
And us, we are like...
It was so unfortunate. God. Okay, the last one. And Ariokot, you're saying my takeaway is 1, Jesus did not die on the cross for me to be a side chick. Amen. Period. All right. 2, people cheat because they want to, and all theories formulated to back up infidelity are just excuses. No, we said the explanations, not excuses. Last one, yes. P with a quiet period. Exactly. Period. And then lastly, you said good, sensitive, knowledgeable, expressive, emotionally aware, and handsome men do exist at Mantalk KE. Wow. Now, they are very single. They are very single.
If you don't shoot your shot,
yeah,
that's your problem.
Now it's your problem.
That's on you. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for always engaging with us. If you want to comment, please go on our YouTube and comment under the...
If you'd like to engage with us, guys, please comment below the YouTube video, or you can send us a message on our Instagram pages, TMI Podcast KE, Lydia KM, Murugi Muni. Please cut. She needs a second.
Cut.
So we have had a conversation today. Besides, before all this fun that we have been here jumping around, we were having the conversation, obviously in collaboration with Form Nigani and the Reproductive Health Network of Kenya, about contraception, about sexual confidence, about kujijali, and just basically taking care of ourselves in terms of contraception. And we asked you guys on Instagram, because a lot of people had shared that those of you who said you are not on contraception, a lot of you said that it's because my man doesn't want me to be on contraception, or my partner doesn't want me to be on contraception. So we asked you guys, how does your partner feel about you being on contraception, or do they take an active role in your contraceptive journey or your self-care journey? So some of you guys had some very interesting feedback. One person said, when I had the implant before having a baby, I put it 1 week before our wedding. I never consulted him.
Yeah. I feel like that tends to be the easy out, because you don't want to go do that back and forth. Me,
I even prefer that a woman does that than you just say no when we have the conversation, because ultimately in that period while you are there, he's still deciding whether or not he wants us to be on which one, whatever.
There
you're
go.
pregnant, or you
Jaden
have the
is coming.
Jaden is on his way.
He's on his way.
Twin brother.
Quisha.
So, yeah, exactly. Another one said he's not okay with it. He says it's too intrusive, and if there was one for men, he would take the hit. So he doesn't want her to be on contraceptive. He wants him to be the one.
He
who's
doesn't
on
mind.
contraceptive.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I hear you, brother friend. I hear the sacrifice.
Yeah.
I hear the sacrifice. However, we are not there. So
exactly.
here we are now.
Plus, I feel like a lot of like hesitation around contraception is just around lack of knowledge. It's just like,
Say it again.
I had another friend who she got the she got so many, like UTIs. Oh, maybe this friend of mine just got pregnant, so I don't trust them.
It's true.
That whole idea of like we don't trust them is what keeps people in that place of bondage.
It's true, and that's what we said, guys. We can say whatever we want to say, but maybe your man won't listen to us.
Exactly.
So we're gonna put the contact numbers as we said, so you can contact a professional who can guide you and your man if he's willing to listen about how you guys can go about having the best one for you.
Exactly. Someone else says, I use IUD, same as the two of us.
Yep.
He's never had a problem. Plus, how freeing is it for us? Stress-free sex. I'm here for stress-free
100%.
Yeah, for stress-free
sex. And stress should not be. They're not partners. They're not cousins.
They're not cousins. Someone else says, my ex was against contraception and wanted a child before committing. I had to dump him.
Good night.
Yeah. Good night,
oh,
sir,
what? No.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, exactly. Someone else says he refused to use protection, and I'm still in campus. I had to call it quits because I'm not ready for a baby. Yeah, this whole thing of you've refused to use refused.
And this is a me and you.
Exactly.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
But I love these are all ending in. He had to go.
Exactly.
Goodbye. I love this.
Exactly.
I'm loving it.
Someone else says he can give his opinion, but I don't need his permission.
I love that. I think you also said that. I think you had said about your weight. Yes, I can hear what he wants to say about what.
Yeah,
but I still do.
I'm still doing it.
And I feel like that's what a healthy relationship is. You can have different opinions.
Exactly.
But ultimately, especially with something that affects you so much, it's on you.
Okay, so but if the man says he doesn't want to use a condom, then you've given your opinion, but he's decided not to use it.
Yeah, but since this affects me as well, just as much, bye.
You're right, exactly. Okay, a couple more. He says he didn't think it was any of his business. Rolling eyes, that idiot. Okay, guys, idiot, exactly. Yeah, and I feel like it's just time that men realize how important they are in that conversation about contraception.
Yeah.
Because one day it'll be your daughter, one day it'll be like your little sister who needs information about this thing, and maybe you might not know it, and you can refer them to Form Nigani. But also you want to have the tools that you need to be able to give that information to your kids.
True.
I think.
What I want to say about that is that I just want you to want to talk to care
about my health.
Because guess what? I'm good. Whether you're partaking in this, I'm doing it for my own good. But it would be great to have you interested.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Tag mans.
Okay, let me find one more. My partner supports my decision. We are for planned pregnancies. Absolutely.
100%.
The goal is for us to all be in charge of the sexual outcomes of our experiences. That for me is like the goal for all of us.
Yes.
Man or woman.
It's true. And if you've heard nothing, I hope you've heard it's fun until it's not.
Until it's not
not.
Exactly.
So please 100% take care of yourself, guys. We have provided where you can contact someone, a professional who can talk to you about even what it means to be sexually confident. Those questions you have, my boyfriend doesn't want me to be on contraceptive, what do I do? Some of those things can be answered so well by a professional who's going to give you knowledge to empower you, and you can slowly build your sexual confidence.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. We hope you have enjoyed watching it as much as we have enjoyed talking about it. If there are two things me and Lydia love, sex and talking about women to women, empowering women, those are
that's
put them
it
together. And we are in paradise. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel now. It really supports us. It's free. It takes you like 2 seconds, and tap the notification bell so you always know when we upload an episode. Also follow us on Instagram at TMI Podcast KE, and Lydia at
Lydia KM,
and me at murugi.munyi. We love you guys.
Until next time.
Bye.